Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Jyoti Gangwal, Assistant Professor, Department of Rachna Sharya, Anatomy, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Today, we will talk about the applied anatomy of the hip joint. Introduction. This is the hip joint. It's formed by pelvis and head of the femur. So basically, it is the largest joint of the human body. It is the second largest weight bearing joint of the human body. When we talk about the type of the joint, it is ball and socket joint, ball and socket variety of synovial joint. It is largest joint because the acetabulum of the pelvic bone and the head of the femur both articulate with each other, and the head of the femur is fits in acetabulum of the pelvic bone. Now, head of the femur. Hip joint is formed by femur and hip bone. The femur has three parts: head, shaft, upper end, shaft, and lower end. And in upper end, there is a head. So, the head of the femur is globular more than a hemisphere. And it is the position of the head is directed upward, medially, and a little forward. There is a one depression called the fovea capitis femoris. It is an ovoid depression. This one is the fovea capitis femoris. This is the head of the femur. This is the neck. This is the greater trochanter of the femur. This is the intertrochanteric crust. This one is the lesser trochanter of the femur. Now, head of the femur is covered with hyaline cartilage, except over fovea capitis femoris. Here, except over fovea capitis femoris. So, the hyaline cartilage cover the head except over the fovea capitis femoris. The fovea capitis gives attachment to the ligament of the head of the femur. Now we will talk about the acetabulum. This is the acetabulum, which articulate with the head of the femur and forms hip joint. The acetabulum is horseshoe shaped, as we seen in this diagram. It is horseshoe shaped, lunate articular surface, acetabular fossa or acetabular node. This is lunate articular surface. Look at here. This is the lunate surface. It's lunate shape. This is the acetabular fossa, where the head of the femur fits and articulates. And this is the notch. Now articulation. how these two bones or two surfaces are articulate each other. This is the diagram here showing the articular cartilage of the acetabular fossa. This is the labrum. This is a joint capsule. And this one is the articular surface of the femoral head. And this is the articular surface of the acetabular fossa. So, hemispherical head of the femur. How articulation is performed by the hemispherical head of the femur. This is the hemispherical head of the femur and horseshoe-shaped acetabulum of the hip bone. This is the horseshoe-shaped acetabulum of the hip bone. Articular surfaces covered with hyaline cartilage. Here, this bluish part is the hyaline cartilage on the both side, which covers the articular surface, and this cartilage known as the hyaline cartilage. Most of the joints are covered by the hyaline cartilage. Now, stability. So, unique in having a high degree of stability as well as mobility. The hip joint is unique. Why? Because it's having a high degree of stability as well as the mobility. Stability depends upon why? Why it is unique? Because the stability depends upon the depth of the acetabulum and the narrowing of its mouth by the acetabular labrum and tension and strength of the ligament, strength of surrounding muscles. There are several muscles which covers the hip joint, so they are providing them strength. And there are numerous ligaments which provide the strength to the hip joint. Length and obliquity of the neck of the femur. This is the most important feature of the stability of the hip joint because the neck of the femur is obliquely situated, not straight. So it helps to moving the hip joint easily and as well as the atmospheric pressure. Now, what kind of ligaments are supporting the hip joint or provide strength to the hip joint? Basically, there are fibrous capsule which covers the articular hip joint externally. There is iliofemoral ligament which covers the which attached to the ilium to the femur. There is pubofemoral ligament which attached to the pubic to the femur. Ischiofemoral ligament which attached to the ischial spine to the femur. Ligament of the head of the femur. Acetabular labrum where the head of the femur is attached. Transverse acetabular ligament. So this is the iliofemoral ligament. This is the joint cavity, joint capsule, and this is the pubofemoral ligament. Now, we will talk about the joint capsule. So, what is joint capsule? Here we can see in this diagram that this is the acetabular rim, and this is the zona orbicularis. This is greater trochanter. This bluish part form the joint capsule. Basically, it encloses the joint. Anterosuperiorly, it is thick and firmly attached. When we will see the hip joint anterosuperiorly, it is thick and firmly attached. But when we see hip joint posterior-inferiorly, it is thin and loosely attached. There are two types of fibers which attach to the joint capsule. The outer is longitudinal Inner is circular, zona orbicularis. Outer longitudinal and inner is circular. So there are two kinds of fibers of joint capsule. Now, next ligament, iliofemoral ligament. Here, this is the iliofemoral ligament which attaches to the ilium to the femur. It is a strong ligament and Y-shaped. Biglow, biglow means it's inverted Y-shape. So covers the joint anteriorly. It covers the joint anteriorly. This is the iliofemoral ligament. Now, it prevents overextension during standing posture. The work of this iliofemoral ligament is it prevents the overextension during standing posture. While a person is standing, it prevents overextension. The attachment is apex. The apex is attached to the lower half of the anterior inferior iliac spine. This is the anterior inferior iliac spine. From here to base of the intertrochanteric line. So basically the iliofemoral ligament attached to the anterior inferior iliac spine of the hip bone to the base of the intertrochanteric line of the femur. The next ligament is pubofemoral ligament. It supports the joint inferomedially. The pubofemoral ligament. This is the pubofemoral ligament. It supports the joint inferomedially. It is triangular in shape. Here we can see that it is triangular in shape. The attachment, it is superiorly attached to the iliopubic eminence, the obturator crust and membrane. So here this is the iliopubic eminence, obturator crust and its membrane, and inferiorly it is merged with the capsule and lower band of the iliofemoral ligament. This is the iliofemoral ligament. This is the lower band of the iliofemoral ligament. So inferiorly, this pubofemoral ligament merged with this iliofemoral ligament and the capsule of the hip joint. It limits extension and abduction. Now, ischiofemoral ligament. So this is the ischiofemoral ligament. Comparatively, it is a weak band, while iliofemoral ligament is a strong band and inverted Y-shape. But the ischiofemoral ligament is comparatively weak band and twisted and spiral in shape. It supports the joint posteriorly, extend from ilium to acetabulum. This is the ilium part and this is the acetabular part. So it extends from ilium to acetabulum. The work is it limits the extension of the joint. Now the ligament of the head of the femur. This is the dissected diagram of hip joint. This is the ligament of the head of the femur. So round ligament or ligamentum teres. The ligament of the head of the femur, also called the round ligament or ligamentum teres. There is one more ligament, ligamentum teres, which found in liver. So basically we can call it ligamentum teres hepatis. So what is the shape of this ligament? It is flat and triangular in shape. And the attachment is apex to the fovea capitis. This is the fovea capitis, ovoid depression of the femur or head of the femur. So it's attached to the apex of the fovea capitis. first, and then base of the transverse ligament and margin of the acetabular node. This is the acetabulum, and there are acetabular nodes. So it attached from the apex of the fovea capitis to the base of the transverse ligament and margin of the acetabular node. In this diagram, we can see that this is the acetabulum, this is the acetabular labrum, this is the ligament of the head of the femur, and this is the femoral head. And this one small part is fovea capitis. So why this is important? Because it is transmits the artery. Because it transmits the arteries to the head of the femur from the acetabular branches of the obturator and medial circumflex femoral artery. Acetabular labrum, it is fibrocartilaginous rim attached to the margin of the acetabulum. Narrow the mouth of the acetabulum, helps in holding the head of the femur in the position, as we can see in this diagram. Transverse acetabular ligament, it is formed by acetabular labrum. It is formed by acetabular labrum, bridges acetabular nodes, converting it into tunnel through which vessels and nerves enter to the joint. Here it is converting into the tunnel. There are some relations of the hip joint: anterior, posterior, inferior, and superior. There are some muscles: rectus femoris, obturator externus, inferior and posterior. Muscles producing movement at the hip joint, we can see in this diagram. The blood supply is obturator artery, medial and lateral circumflex femoral artery, gluteal artery. Nerve supply is femoral nerve, superior gluteal nerve, anterior division of obturator nerve, nerve to rectus femoris, and nerve to quadratus femoris. Thank you. I hope you will understand. Thank you.